Hall concert, Charlie Parker.
Yeah.
You know that. You got that remember Billy Weinstein?
Yeah.
This concert at Massey Hall.
Legend song.
Talk about why this concert at Massey Hall was so important. Tell people why this concert at Massey Hall back in the 50s was so important.
Well, it turned out to be, at the time you don't know, but it turned out to be a legendary concert, you know. But Charlie Parker, come on, man. Anything can happen there. And they showed me the contract that day, and I think all 6 guys got about $1,100, you know. But it's amazing. And I'll never forget his long time. It sounds silly, but I tell you, it's deep in my heart, you know.
Who gave you the nickname Q?
Frank. When he called me after the 4 years and we'd been working in Monte Carlo, he called me from Hawaii and says, "Hey Q, this is Francis." Nobody had called me that before. "This is Francis." And I heard the record you did, but I'm directing a film over here called Number the Brave in Kauai. But I heard a record you did with Basie last year, and you took Bart Howard's In Other Words, which was originally a waltz. I said, I don't want to do it like that. I want to do it like you did. You went from 3/4 to 4/4. And he said, would you consider doing a record with me and Basie? I said, man, as a corporate Catholic, are you crazy? I was so happy, and that's like a dream for a ranger of the record. It's a dream. And I was over there 2 days later, and he fly me to the moon first, because they played on the moon in 1969, was over. And was with him till he died, you know. It just was amazing, amazing human being you were.
Yeah.
Amazing. Frank and Brando, Sidney P. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing guys. And Disney must be pleased. All individuals, you know.
I want to talk a little bit about one of the unsung heroes. But I want to talk about one of the unsung heroes, one of the guys that played a significant role in your life, but not everyone has heard of him, and that's Clark Terry.
And that's just what I was going to say. And thank God, God does not miss anything. This last month, we were at the Tribeca Film Festival, and these two incredible human being, young kids, one was a drummer from Australia, Hicks, he didn't even know he could make a film, but he shot 450 hours of film on Clark Terry mentoring a young, blind Japanese piano player, Justin Kaufman. And I studied with, I was his first student 7 years ago, and Justin was his last student, so they made a film based on that. And it's the most touching thing I've ever seen in my life. I cried all the way through it because I didn't know how it had been edited, you know.
Didn't you finance the film? Did you finance that film? You were the executive producer.
No, yeah, exactly. No, we did a lot of things. You know, whatever, just get to the mainland, you know. With film, you do whatever you have to do, you know, to get it made. Because it is the hardest, probably the hardest challenge in life to get a film. All these elements together, you know, the editors, all that stuff to do it, you know. But it is so touching. We cried all the way through it, and we won.
Yeah.
And won the festival, and as soon as it was over, we got 4 standing ovations, everybody crying, and I got a call immediately from Harvey Weinstein, and it's Ted Sarandos, who's married to my best friend's daughter, from Netflix. And my daughter called me from Sony. They called her to tell her, don't sign with Harvey because he's a gangster. I said, that's what I want. Harvey knows what to do. And Harvey sent his business guys over with Mike, VP over at NFL, to put the deal together. And it was over, like, and the same night we won, you know. And Harvey said, see you at the Oscars. It's so touching because it's so, I've never seen so much truth in my life on the screen as this movie. Keep on keeping on. If you get a chance to check it out.
It was here a couple of weeks ago at the Hot Docs Film Festival. It was here a couple of weeks ago at the film festival.
Yeah, it'll touch you whether you're a musician or not. It's just humanity, you know, that's the truth.
But I just wanted to tie up a loose end on this about Clark and tell me why people should care about him.
Well, Clark is one of the greatest trumpet players that ever lived, you know. He influenced Miles, who's from East St. Louis. He was with the so the territory band from St. Louis, then he was in the Great Lake Naval Band. Then he was with Basie, Charlie Barnett. When I first heard him, he was with Charlie Barnett, was named first from here in Montreal.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they put my mind in trunk player. I never heard anybody play that high in my life. And Chuck Terry, forget it, he just mumbles. We just did an album with him and Snoop Dogg, doing rap and mumbles together. Generation 40 years apart. But the thing is, in the process of teaching Justin, he had diabetes and had both legs amputated. It's an amazing story, absolutely touching. And now Justin is part of our Global Gumbo All-Stars, and we travel all over the world with these kids. The most talented young people on the planet. And Nikki's one of them. Nikki Anoski, one of them. Nikki Anoski, a girl from Budapest, last year, they grew up in the fair and took Korea off the stage. The British said that, those are my brothers, They said, stay home, you teach the little girls, kill it. They were singing Lethal's Respect, But, what are you going to do?
This is someone that you didn't work with, but you got to know, Tupac.
Got to know was my daughter's fiance. In fact, he died in her arms, His mom's staple. She almost got killed in that too, because Suge and Tupac were in the car. She was supposed to be sitting next to Tupac.
This was in Las Vegas, right?
Las Vegas, yeah. And thank God Tupac called her up and said, I just hit a crip, so I'll pick you up later. And a car came by his car, a convertible, with girls in it to tempt him out of the car. And they pulled off, and a guy with a bow tie and a machine gun, took him out. That would have been my daughter, Her car was behind with the security, and he died in her arms. And she went through, within a year and a half's time, she lost Tupac. She produced an event for my record company, Quest Records, and Vibe magazine. 4 minutes after that, Biggie Small got shot. He was at that thing. He got killed by the Crips. And Aaliyah was just a stay living at home. We took her to Fiji, stayed in Tony Robbins' house and everything. And later she got killed in an airplane accident. It was overloaded, It was a rough time for her. She's recovered. She's working with her sister now, Rashida Jones. You know Rashida Jones? And they wrote a TV show together. They don't stop, and they keep selling 22 episodes every week. She got a production deal with Pixar and Warner, something. When
Tupac started dating your daughter, there was a sit-down you had with him.
He wrote something in Shorts magazines and stuff about just very racist and very nasty. And my daughter from Harvard, Rashida, took him out. She was speaking Harvard East at the end, but all my kids, I put the street in them. I made sure they had the street. So you have to have the street, man. Okay, where you go? Yale, Harvard, Georgetown, wherever. I was born in the streets of Chicago in the 30s in Chicago with mafia every day, dead bodies every day, Tommy guns, stogies, piles of money in back rooms. Amazing. I wanted to be gangsters when I was 11. Because you want to be what you see. All I ever saw were these guys, And the Jones Board, that was a gang, was a black gangsters, most notorious gangsters. We're going to do a film on that too, in the history of America, And in 1941, they had a policy racket at 5 and dime stores, and they made $110 million that year. That's like $1 billion back then. And Capone ran them out of Chicago. My father was Jones too, but he was a carpenter building their homes. And he came and got my brother and I out of the barbershop and put us on a trailway bus and took us from Northwest. Thank God, because out there, that's when I changed my dreams of being a gangster to being a musician.
At some point, when you were living on the south side of Chicago, when you were living on the south side of Chicago as a kid,
Depression.
Did a gangster put a switchblade through your hand?
7 years old. I went on the wrong street. They had the vagabonds, Johns, AC, the Scorpions. Wrong, I was the wrong guy. And they nailed my hand to to the fence with a switchblade knife and put an ice pick in my temple, man. That Chicago is a breeding ground for gangsters. I don't know what it is, man. It's, you know, the name in Chicago is an Indian name. It means onions and garlic, you know. The garlic and the Stevens area. Something about that place that just breeds gangsters. I don't know what it is. It's amazing.
So what did your pop
All the way to Rahm Emanuel.
Tell me what your dad did when he found out about the...
Well, my dad was a master carpenter. And he hit the kids on the head with a hammer. Like that, you know. But it's a rough place, man. We used to take, they didn't have guns back then. They didn't need them, because we take a clothespin and an inner tube rubber, tied with a string on a clothespin, and it takes strings to put the tongue of in your shoe, and put that in the string, and take a steel aggie, and you can kill somebody with that. You know? And they did. I mean, they were rough and still are. You know, I called Jennifer Hudson. You heard what happened to her. With her mother, her brother, and her nephew. There's something about it. I don't know.
Let's hear, up for this, I want to talk a little bit about Michael Jackson. I want to talk a little bit about Michael Jackson. Can you tell the Socrates story? The Socrates story, when you were doing the
I met Michael first at 12 years old. I met Stevie at 12, Ruth at 12, Kevin at 12. It's amazing. We were doing the Wiz. I've done 5, Sidney Poitier and Sidney Lumet are the reason I got into movies. Sidney gave me 5 films and passed me the baton because he had the same struggle as an actor, you know. Because he was blacklisted until Richard Brooks put him in, what was that?
Heat of the Night.
Blackwood Jungle. And back then they didn't hire news black composers. No way. Duke Ellington did too, but most of his Eastern European names, Dimitri Tiomkin, well, that's just the way it was. You know? And
Michael, and he was the Scarecrow? Yeah, the pieces of paper.
I'm jazz man and I get off track. You know?
It's called improvisation.
So Sidney called me, and Sidney was about 19, to do the film. I didn't really want to do it because I didn't like the script. I'd done 5 films with him before, Deadly Affair, Pawnbroken, all that stuff, Anderson tapes. But Sidney said the right words. He said, "You will be." I said, "Okay, right." So I'll be there. And scoring a musical is another kind of a challenge because everything you do has to be so accurate and right on because they shoot the film with whatever you record. You know, that's what the film was based on. So Michael, he came to my house and he said, "I just couldn't deal with Epic, you know, with my solo album." He said, "Maybe you can help me find a producer." I said, "Michael, I don't want to talk about it. You don't even have the song in the picture now. The only thing you got is with Diana Ross, and he's on down the road. You got to get a song for you." And so finally we got Charlie Small to write You Can't Win with the Crows. You might have seen that movie? So he got that in and everything else. And I started to watch Michael and to see what we could do that hadn't been done before. The Barry brothers always tell me, you can't be any bigger. You see. So we were rehearsing in Brooklyn one day, all of the leads, you know, the Scarecrow and Lion and Diana and all that. And Michael had this thought and all of this junk in his chest, and he pull out little sayings by all the famous philosophers, Kierkegaard, etc. And he'd say, da 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 da, Socrates. They got little Socrates. We kept saying it. And if Diana Ross doesn't correct it, then that's something definitely wrong. Diana Ross was definitely jumping in. And Sidney didn't correct it either, so I didn't want him to get used to it because it's not incorrect. And so I said, "Smelly." I used to call him Smelly because he never said bad words. He said smelly jelly instead of funky. You know? So I called him Smelly. His mother got mad because she thought I said the same he smelled. But not at all. You know, it's just a colloquialism. And so Michael looked at me and I said, "Smelly, it's Socrates." He said, "Really?" A deer in the headlights, you know. I said, really? It's Socrates, man, okay? And when I saw that look in his eye, I said, I'd like to take a shot at you for self, you know? And we did. But after the picture, you know, because I watched him, this kid is incredible. He watched everybody's dialogue. He'd have his makeup and stuff put on for 5 hours every day. He knew everybody's dialogue, all of his songs, all of their dance steps, everything. Don Kale. And just a mind like I've never seen before. Never. Because at 12, when they got it at 12, you know he got it. Really. God was touching on the shoulder. And he, when I decided to do it, I said, man, I'm ready. And we did Off the Wall. You know?
Yeah.
We did a song for E.T. Spielberg was asked me to do a favor to do a song for this. I got Alan Merleberg and Ron Tippett. It doesn't get any better than that. And we did a song, and then he wanted us to do the whole album. I said, but Stephen, we're in the middle of Thriller, man. We got the Paul McCartney single out now. It's number 2. We gotta go, you know. He said, please, look at it. So we did it. We finished up Thriller, and
How many copies has Thriller sold? How many copies has Thriller sold?
no, they're talking everything between 69 and 104 million. I don't know, but I saw yesterday, biggest all-time sales with everything from Lipitor to all that stuff, you know, and Thriller was in that, you know, that's all-time sellers.
Realize that 104 million, that means every Canadian could have 3 copies of that. The entire Canadian population. Yes.
That's right. See, the technology is what kicked our butt. Now, there is no record business. It's all 90%, 8% piracy everywhere on the planet. Everywhere. And that's sickening, you know. Because iTunes no things don't anything. There's single records, and the original process was singles were like 30-second spots for a package. You know, but they don't have that now. And you know, the biggest Adele or Justin Bieber, those guys get, it's selling like 2, 3, 6 million albums, man. Michael sell that in a weekend. It really is. And we're getting ready to hopefully get involved in China with intellectual property with the president, hopefully. That would be a dream.
I want to talk more